Welcome to our website. I'm Julia Keller, the Executive Director of the Mindful Youth Institute, and I'd like to tell you about the kid who started it all. I used to have a student with ADHD and a learning disability and an incredible imagination. D was in 5th grade and spelled but as Bioute, but he could tell you about centrifugal force and chi. After listening to a story read in class, he could answer comprehension questions better than any other kid in class could. But he did nothing at school most of the day, hitting himself on the head with a pencil when his brain got stuck, which happened a lot. It happened when he tried to subtract 7 from 12. It happened when he sounded out words like mistaken. He made his teachers nuts because of his creative uses of rubber erasers and what he called finger chi to focus his energy, which took much longer than a teacher's patience could stand. He was allowed extended time on the state standardized test, but he was the only one in the school that took more than a few minutes of extra time. In fact, he may have set the state record for taking the longest time on the test, a total of over 36 hours, for what took the other kids less than 12. This was because he was using every scrap of brain power he had available to overcome the learning disability that made it painfully difficult for him to read or do simple math. D was one of my favorite students because he thought so far out of the box that most people thought he was out in left field. In fact, so far left field that he wasn't even in the stadium. But he wanted so much to learn. I tried everything with this kid. Nutritional snacks, herbal remedies, coffee, yoga, and even a little bit of mindfulness. He was the reason I went back to graduate school, to understand how and why his mind works so differently than other kids' minds. D was the student who inspired me to find creative and effective ways to help kids like him, kids with tremendous challenges, but also tremendous potential. Kids like D gave us all here at MYI the desire to find ways to teach mindfulness to kids who often find focusing and paying attention very difficult. This is our mission at MYI, to develop cutting-edge mindfulness interventions and distribute knowledge about teaching strategies that help children with learning difficulties lead happier and more productive lives. Thank you for visiting our site.